Hello, people, back again. There's so much stuff out there to talk about today. I just have to want to talk about it. And this is about the comic book character Gambit. Now, in the 90s, when Gambit first debuted, he was one of my I really liked the character in the X-Men comics. He was different, being a Cajun character. At the time, originally, you didn't know much about his past. He had the cool card throwing ability. He had his, big stick he could beat you up with. He looked really cool. That was at the time when, Marvel was introducing a bunch of characters, got introduced new characters, a Gambit and a Bishop and all kinds of characters at the time. And he was a really cool character. I always liked him in the 90s. Now, it's weird how now the characters I know from the 90s, from Deadpool to Gambit, have all 80s and 90s, late 80s into the 90s, have all become leading characters in the Marvel Universe. I don't kind of like how they changed the characters over time, but that's because I think I have fond memories of the original versions of them. But back in January, the X-Men producer Lauren Schuler Donner had expressed interest in having Channing Tatum play the role of Gambit. Now, everybody knows Channing Tatum from 21 Jump Street and the upcoming 22 Jump Street. And unfortunately, from seeing those movies, comedies like that, people tend to think a person can't act. It's just the way it works sometimes. Gotta take a drink from my cup here. But in this case, when this originally got out, he had said he would love to play the character Gambit. That basically, he loves the character Gambit. And it always is pretty good when you can get somebody who loves a character, because that means they'll try really hard to do a good job. But at the X-Men Days of Future Past red carpet in London, and basically Donner kind of was talking about him, how that it is Channing going to be Gambit, and that he's a rogue, Channing, he's a rascal like Remy LeBeau, and he can handle the action, we all know. And Donner added the fact he's a Southerner and knows the world makes him the perfect person to play the part. Of course, Remy is Gambit's real name. So the thing about this Donner, by the way, if you want to talk about comic books about it, Donner also said how much X-Force fascinates her. Now she wants to make a gritty film version of that property also, because again, Fox owns all the X-Men stuff to make movies. In other words, X-Men, X-Force, New Mutants, they could, go with any variation to that they wanted to. Their contract with Marvel just states, as long as they continue to make movies, just like Spider-Man is with Sony, that it's a lifetime contract, that they can basically continually make them as long as they want to, indefinitely, which could be good or bad. Now, the reaction to this announcement is the fact, because there was a Gambit in X-Men Wolverine Origins movie, a lot of people like, why isn't he going to play Gambit? And I think here's where Fox drops the ball, and this is where Sony can't do this too much with Spider-Man either. What fans have gotten used to with what Marvel has done, smartly Marvel's done this, the same person plays the same character throughout multiple movies. Now, there's cases where you can recast the character when obviously it's been 20 years since the last time you made a movie. But you can't continually, like the X-Men, you can't continually reboot and continually change the characters. People lose interest. People see one person as a character and they want to see that same person through movie. Like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He's played Wolverine several times. You don't think of Wolverine in the movies without thinking of Hugh Jackman. It's become synonymous. So people want to have the same character, like Marvel. When you think of Iron Man, you think of Robert Downey Jr. That's just the way it works. And so this is something that Fox and Sony both need to really think about long-term for these franchises. You got it. People know, comic book fans of movies and comic books know who plays these characters and don't want to feel shortchanged. I don't know if Channing Tatum can pull the role off. I know one of the points made, which was a very valid one, was that when they originally announced Heath Ledger as the Joker, people were upset. And he did a great job. If Channing Tatum loves the character, hopefully he does a great job. And it isn't all his fault. I mean, it's kind of like Ben Affleck getting ripped apart because of Daredevil. What's going to depend if this is a good movie is the writing and the director. An actor can act all they want, but a director cuts a movie bad. No matter how good that actor is, the movie's still bad. You can have one good actor in a movie and the rest of the movie be bad. You know, again, one person doesn't make a movie bad. It takes a lot of people. So, hopefully he does a good job. Gambit's one of my favorite characters. I'm curious how they're going to go with this character. Is it going to be about his past? What are they going to do with this, with Gambit? So my question to you is, how do you feel about Channing Tatum of 21 Jump Street or 22 Jump Street coming out soon movies being cast as Gambit in a possible standalone movie? What would you like to see in this movie? What would you like to see with Gambit in this movie? That's the other question. Where are they going to go with it? Are they going to do an origin story? Are they going to be like a movie about his past? Or how are they going to do this? We'd love to hear your guys' opinions like always, and I will talk to you guys again later.